Hey there! In this video, we are going to build a stylish dine-in squirrel feeder using just a cedar picket fence and an 1/8-inch thick clear acrylic. The best part, it'll only cost you less than $15. So let's dive into the DIY. First things first, let's get our picket fence ready. Since the board is a bit rough, I sanded it down with 80 and then 120 grit to ensure a smooth finish. These boards are typically 1/2 inch thick, 5.5 inches wide, and 6 feet long. The cut list that I have prepared for you is based on these dimensions. Make sure to grab the build plans before you start this build. Now grab a pencil and mark 13 inches from the dog ear side of the fence board. Cut with a miter saw. This is going to be our backer board. Don't worry about the dog ear edge of this board. We will be cutting it off later. Similarly, mark the front piece on the board with 15-degree angles. Proceed with the other straight cuts. I have all the dimensions, the cut list, plans along with 3D step-by-step instructions in the link below. Make sure to grab them for this build. Now let's break down the wide boards into 2-inch, 1.5 and 1-inch wide strips using a table saw. Once you finish all the cuts, make sure to name them for easy assembly. Also, cut the 12x12 acrylic sheet to 8 inches wide using the same blade on the table saw. I set my miter saw to 45 degrees to cut the edges of the stretcher pieces. Before assembling, I recommend staining or painting the parts. I am staining the front piece and the stretchers black. While that dries, let's move on to the next step. Now, here's a neat trick for the roof. We are going to shape this acrylic piece to snugly fit as our roof. To achieve this, you'll need a clamp, a scrap wood piece with a 20-degree angle cut on one end, and a heat gun. Begin by drawing a center line on the acrylic sheet. Align the center with the edge of the scrap wood and secure it with a clamp to a wooden tabletop. Use the heat gun to warm the center of the acrylic sheet. This may take a minute or two depending on the heat intensity. As it heats up, you'll notice the sheet starting to bend. Be cautious as it will be hot to touch, so use a scrap wood piece or a heat-resistant gloves when bending it down. Allow it to heat sufficiently before attempting to shape it, avoiding force. Precision is not critical here. You just need to bring it close to the angle cut on the scrap wood. Once the acrylic has cooled off, release the clamp and position it on the dog ear side of the backer board. Outline the shape and use a jigsaw to make the cut. Smooth the edges with sandpaper and verify if the acrylic roof fits well. Hold them together and mark 2 points on each side for screw placement. Pre-drill these points and use a countersink drill bit to accommodate the screws flush with the acrylic. Alright, it's time to put them together. Start by gluing and nailing the tabletop to the sides. Next, glue and attach the 11-inch long stretchers to the seats. Ensure it's flush on one side and half-inch inset on the other. Apply glue to the 1.5-inch spacer and fix it to the bottom of the backer board and the front piece. Secure them together with 18-gauge brad nails. Place another set of spacers on top, followed by assembling the tabletop. Lastly, screw in the acrylic roof to the top. For a personal touch, I added a permanent vinyl sticker created using a Cricut machine on the backer board. Last but not least, let's give the feeder a finish that's safe for our furry friends. Cedar picket boards are naturally resistant to rot and decay, so you might not need any additional finish. However, to ensure the feeder lasts long without fading, I'm applying teak oil on all sides except where the food will be placed, just to be safe. Teak oil is designed to protect the wood from moisture and UV rays. And there you have it, your very own dine-in style squirrel feeder. For detailed plans, cut lists, and 3D step-by-step instructions, check the link below. Enjoy this fun project that will only take a few hours of your time. Happy crafting, folks!